Hi guys, this is the Soshine H4 charger. I've worked with this charger for almost a year and this is, in my opinion, the best charger I've used yet. If you're using it more on a professional basis where you have to charge batteries every day or even several times a day, it just makes the work a lot simpler. In the package was included the charger, the 12-volt car or solar setup charger, the EU plug 12-volt 2-amp adapter, and a small user manual. On the manual itself there is some information about how it works, but I'm going to show you, so we don't need the manual. Let's put this aside. This 12-volt plug for your car is quite nice. It has one screw here which got a little rusty with the sea air. It hasn't been in the water obviously. Here we have a small fuse in here, which is good for safety reasons and if there's any issue with the charger or the charging battery. This plug is quite nice. As I live in Portugal, I use the EU plug, and it supplies enough power to charge 4 of these batteries at 1 amp each. The only thing I have to say here, it was shipped to me and it arrived like this. As you can see here, slightly hurt the cable, but I took it now out to show you. But usually I use a piece of heat shrink over it just to make sure it's well protected and it works fine. It doesn't get hot or so it's good. The charger itself has this appearance. It has 4 slots, and in my opinion they move better than on the Li 500 which I reviewed. They are much softer and easier to put the battery in and out. We have a small LCD display here, which gives you enough information, or let's say the information you need. And on the back we have some information about the charger itself, that it can charge the usual nickel metal hydride, lithium ion and LiFePO4. And the currents on this one are 250, 500 and 1000 milliamp hours, which you can set and they will stay in the settings even if you pull the power from the charger for a longer while. They keep the setting, but we're gonna come back to this later. Right here what you can see is it's already very scratched, the charger itself, but this means, well, it has been used and it's an article to be used and not to be spared. Doesn't damage it. Okay, what I want to show you right away is how to power it on. I have my power plug here, I have my power line. Just gonna pull the plug out, piece of cable, plug it in there, plug it in here. Now we can see right away the LCD display comes on, and it's a very nice and simple display. You have the display of the 4 batteries, and with this button you can scroll in between them. It works very nice. If there is no battery placed in, you can see what chemistry and what amperage setting. Now if you want to change them, let's go for example to this one. If you want to change them, you just press the middle button once, and it will tell you set. You have ion, which is lithium ion. You have FeP, which is lithium iron phosphate. If you press it again, you're nickel metal hydride, which is Ni. If you press it again, you're back at lithium ion, which I use. If you press again the middle button, you're to the amperage setting. Here you can choose in between 1000 milliamps. So this was the wrong button, sorry. If you press the middle button and then you press again this button, you can choose in between 1000, 500 and 250 milliamps of charging current. I want to show you how it charges. Therefore I have this is quite coincidental, but I have also Soshine 26650 here, which I'm going to plug in, and we're going to see right away. It takes about 10 seconds to recognize to test the battery, what voltages and so on, and another second so it shows you. So now it appears, and there we go. This battery is at 3.6 volts. Now what you can see here, this is the time. It will appear in hours and minutes after the seconds are gone, and if you press this button here, you can scroll in between milliamp hours and the time. So this is quite interesting. Okay, this one, with this button you can simply see the other channels, and the middle button doesn't do anything. Taking the battery out, I'm going to try for example this NCR 18650B, which are the longest on the market, quite the longest, and they fit in without any issues, and there's even a bit of space to spare. This is very good. Another thing I want to show you is, and this is an automatically setting charger, which is very safe. For example, now we have set in here ion or lithium ion, and if you put it in, if you plug it in for charging, it takes some while, obviously, 10 seconds plus 1 second until it shows up. And what it will do now is it tells you right away it's a 1.4 volts, and it will charge it still. But the setting, and you can see this right here on the right, the setting has gone to nickel metal hydride, which you can see here the channel, and here you can see the milliamps. Okay, so he changes it automatically. You don't have to set it, but if I take it out now, well, it was easy. It's again set to ion, and this is what I really like on this charger. If you're using it on a professional outfit like I do, it's quite nice because usually I have them set all to 1 amp, and I come with my battery, pow, plug it in, take it out, plug it in, plug take the plug out. Next day or the next month I put it in again, plug the battery in, and it will always charge it at 1 amp fixed current. This is a small advantage which I see if we take a look at the Leaf 500, which I've reviewed recently. We take a look at this. The issue with this one is that, and I'm going to show you, if you plug this in, if you plug him in and you plug any battery in, what will happen is he will always come back to this setting. He will tell you the voltage of the battery. He will ask you if you want to change. This is obviously very nice, but it will always show up at 500 milliamp hours. And if you're using it on a professional outfit where you need the charge of 1 amp, this is quite annoying, as you always have to press it twice, and sometimes it doesn't even get into the 1 amp. Sometimes it does something weird, I don't know why, but this is not settable, so it will always, by default, go to 500 milliamps, which you can obviously change, but you always have each channel by its time, plug the battery in, change it, plug the battery in, change it, and this is very annoying. Now, I have a small comparison in between these two, which is very simple. The pros are for the H4, obviously. This is the review from the H4, and we can see that the settings are fixed, what I just told you. We can see that it only has 250, 500 and 1000 milliamp hours of charge, but in my opinion this is way enough. We don't need more. On this case, this one, the Leaf 500 offers 300, 500, 700 and 1000 milliamps, which is a bit more of an optional, but you don't need it. The other thing I like very much on the H4 is the smoother sliders, and I'm going to show you this in a second. If you take a look right now, like this one is much easier to slide and much softer. These ones are very hard, and I'm going to show you just, if I plug this battery in, it's very simple. If I take this one and do the same thing, it's a lot harder to get it in, and the issue is if you let them loose here, it goes flying through the room, and this is not nice, in my opinion. And if someone is hearing this Alito color, don't do them so hard. Just try that the sliders are a bit softer and you don't have to press so hard. Okay, that's a small recommendation from myself. And on the Leaf 500 side, we can see that the main advantage is the fast and NOR tests, which this offers, which offers you the ability to see the capacity exactly or test it. And the other thing on the Leaf 500 is especially the USB output, which is a very nice feature on all Leaf color chargers. So they're kind of equaling itself out, although my personal opinion, and I've used the 500 now also for a while, for a professional user, go for the H4. It's much easier, especially because of the fixed settings, where you don't always have to set it again from the beginning. So you just go in, pow, plug the battery in, plug, done. Take them out once they're full and put the next ones in. It's much easier to work. I think we have talked enough about the charger itself, and I'm gonna go ahead and do the tear apart of this charger. So here we can see, after taking this apart, thanks for making my life easier, Soshine, with only 4 screws compared to the other 6. And what we can see right away are the negative sliders here. Wow, this is a very interesting design. Do you see where the pole is soldered on? And if you pull it back, you can see the wire goes through. You can see the wire goes through the spring all the way down, and you can see the wires, they bend up and down, up and down, up and down. Well, it's quite interesting. It looks very interesting. But this is basically what's on here. We can see a basic protection, so with the movement they don't scratch open and make any shorts or so. Now let's try to get the board out. And yeah, the board is screwed in here. And if we take the board out, this is what it looks on the other side. Just some 4 bigger capacitors and 2 bigger coils, the 12-volt connection here, and that's all. We have the positive poles here, which slide through the plastic as usual, and the negative is on the sliders, and the LCD is a separate board right up here. Okay, so let's put it back together. There is not much to say about it. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching my review. I hope this was helpful for you if you're thinking about buying one of these. And I'm gonna put a link in the description from where you can buy this charger. This particular one was bought on Deal Extreme. Thanks for watching. I wish you a great day.